What's going on, everyone? The Flyers snapped their three-game losing skid with a win today at home over the Anaheim Ducks by a score of 4-1. Very emotional game. We all know this going in. It was the first game coming home since this three-game losing streak. Emotions were high. It was the team's first time seeing Oskar Lindblom since being diagnosed with his bone cancer. So it was a nice little emotional ways with the team seeing Oskar for the first time since their last home game. Been pretty difficult for this locker room dealing with Oskar being diagnosed with cancer, but being able to see him in high spirits, getting the team happy, just seeing how good he is doing, how well he is taking being diagnosed with this horrible disease. It's nice to see the players being able to see him and just get to talk to him and just be with him, basically. So, the team wanted to go out there, play every shift for him, win this game for him, and they absolutely did. And also, before this game, the Wells Fargo Center was decked out. Every seat was filled with Hockey Fights Cancer signs for We Fight for Oskar Lindblom, so that was a little nice touch there. They also did a nice touch during the first period. They did a nice little tribute to Oskar Lindblom, all the fans in the crowd holding up their signs and applauding for Oskar Lindblom. Sadly, I don't think he was at the game today, which also would have been nice, but understandable why he was not. So, yeah, just a nice little touch right there before the game. But also before this game, there was also a major thing past the Oskar Lindblom situation, but with regards to the attendance. So, when this game started, the seats were very patchy. It was very evident that there was a lot of patches in those seats. And I don't know whether the argument is that this team's been mediocre for the past decade. Why am I going to spend money to go see a mediocre team? Even though the Flyers have been playing some of their best hockey in the past few years. I don't know why someone wouldn't want to see that. But then there's also another argument that, yeah, they keep raising ticket prices, which, yes, they do. I'm a season ticket holder, and they keep raising the prices on us, which kind of gets annoying when a team isn't that good for the past few years and they still continue to raise the prices. And especially for people that are just going to buy tickets for a specific game. I can understand not paying 70 to $100 for an upper level ticket, which honestly those tickets should cost between like 40 to $60. So I can completely understand that. And also, you're at a time where it's the holiday season. Next week is Christmas. People are getting their Christmas shopping done, and it's also really bad weather outside. It's also really cold. And that can also be a reason why people aren't showing up to the game. But it's been a big argument, honestly, this whole season, because the attendance really hasn't been the best. So, kind of something there to go on. So, going back to the game at hand, the Flyers did come out really hard in this game. They were winning puck battles, getting pucks on net, but it was also evident that they were losing some puck battles. Anaheim was still within this game during the first period. They were hard checking. They were fast to the puck. They were getting a ton of shots on Carter Hart. I think they had like 16 in the first period, but we managed to stay tied after one. And some players that did stand out to me throughout this game, players like Nicolas Aube-Kubel, his speed and the way he plays, he gets a big hit early on in the offensive zone. I think around like 4 or 5 minutes into this game, they get the fans pumped up. Chris Stewie also gets into a fight during the first period, I think around the end of it, which was nice to see. But also David Kasha playing on a line with Morgan Frost and Jake Voracek, and also Travis Konecny being slotted back into the lineup after missing the past 3 games with his concussion symptoms. So he was activated off the IR today, and he was ready to go. And he looked good out there, but there was also some moments, especially in that first period. Travis Konecny, I think he was close to getting a breakaway, but I don't know what the hell happened on this play. He gets the puck, he tries to divot, and he just does a cartwheel. He just completely loses an edge and does a complete 180 flip. I don't know what happened there. I was praying to God he didn't get hurt again, but sadly he didn't. But that's the main theme with Travis Konecny throughout this game. He did play good, but he kept falling, which was I don't know if it was he had a little rust on him or there was something wrong with his skates. I don't know what was wrong there, but he kept falling, even though he did look good the entire game. So it's 1-1. It's not 1-1. It's 0-0 after one, and then we go to the second period. It gets a nice little passing play from the first line. Sean Couturier to Travis Konechny to Claude Giroux. Tic-tac-toe, Claude Giroux buries it past John Gibson for a 1-0 Flyers lead early on in the second period. And then the Flyers, not that long later, it's the third line of Frost, Voracek, and Kase. Frost gives it over to Travis Sanheim at the point. He puts it on net, where Kase's up in front, well, actually in the slot, to redirect the puck in to make it a 2-0 Flyers lead. And that's a nice story there for David Kase getting his first NHL goal. And funny thing too, his brother, I forget his first name, but his brother plays for the Anaheim Ducks, and both of their parents came here from the Czech Republic to watch this game because it's the first time the two brothers are playing against each other in the NHL, because David Kase was recently just recalled last week. So it's a nice little thing right there for David Kase to get his first NHL goal against his brother while his parents are also in the stands watching the two brothers play. So that's a nice little story right there. So it's a 2-0 Flyers lead in the middle of the second period. But then the Flyers, they start to get into a lot of penalty trouble. Claude Giroux, the first line was out there for a while. They got a little break in the offensive zone, but they couldn't really get anything going. And then as the play's coming back, Claude Giroux takes a tripping penalty, and that results in an Anaheim power play. Now, the Flyers killed off a previous 2 penalties before that, but on this one, it's a blast from the point from Hampus Lindholm, deflects off of the stick of Rickard Rakell, and past Carter Hart for a 2-1 Flyers lead. And the one thing that was still evident, even though the Flyers were up 2-0, Anaheim still felt like they were in this game. The Flyers did not put this team away yet. And that still resulted going into the end of the second period, because right after this power play, it was like maybe a minute or two later, Nicolas Aube-Kubel, granted he was playing a really good game at this point, the hit was fine. It just resulted in the end result wasn't that good. He goes for a hit, and it results in being a kneeing. So he was going shoulder on shoulder. It just happened to be a knee on knee, and he takes a penalty. The guy resulting on the play got hurt. So it's just an unlucky situation right there. The hit was clean. He wasn't leading with his knee at all. He was going shoulder to shoulder. It just happened that way. It just happened. You get a penalty. But the Flyers managed to kill it off going into the second intermission. So it is still 2-1 going into the third period. But the Flyers, they do take another penalty at the start of the third. We kill it off, and it's the Jake Voracek line out there, and it's a turnover by Anaheim in the neutral zone. It gets onto the stick of Jake Voracek, who has a 2-on-1 with Morgan Frost. Jake Voracek, we all know, he's a guy that likes to pass it a lot, but instead of passing it, he finally decides to fire the puck on net, and he beats John Gibson for a 3-1 Flyers lead. So the Flyers looking good right here. They get that 2-goal lead back, and hopefully they get to play defensively on the way of the rest of the third period. They do get a couple of penalties once again, and they kill them off, which is one of the main reasons in this game they were having trouble with was the penalty. Well, the penalty kill. They were taking a lot of penalties in this game, but thank God the penalty kill stepped up today. And it's funny, too, the penalty kill is missing a lot of key players. They're missing Lindblom, they're missing Raffl, missing Pitlick, they're missing Lawton, missing 4 key guys on that penalty kill, and they still managed to kill 4 out of 5, I think. I think Anaheim had 5 power plays total in this game. We managed to kill 4 of them, and that's still good with majority of your guys on the roster for the penalty kill being gone, basically. So the Flyers managed to kill those off, and Carter Hart's coming up with some big saves in this third period, especially one that stands out the most. Ryan Getzlaf is really open in the neutral zone. He gets sort of a mini breakaway going into the Flyers zone. Instead of driving to the net, he decides to wind up for a slap shot, and Carter Hart just makes the shoulder save and results in the stoppage of play. So Carter Hart coming up with some big saves there, and then going towards the end of the third period, Anaheim decides to pull their goaltender to get the extra attacker on. The Flyers playing really well in the defensive zone, and that results in Sean Couturier with around like 7 seconds left getting that garbage goal to make it a 4-1 Flyers lead, and that's how your game finishes. Your stars of the game, Claude Giroux, David Kase, Carter Hart. Carter Hart making 40 saves out of 41 shots. Superb night for Carter Hart. He was one of the main reasons we won this game, and sadly we didn't get that many power play chances in the power play. It's still evident that it's struggling, but it's nice to see getting that win on home ice, bouncing back from that 3-game losing streak on the West Coast. It's nice to come back home, get this win on home ice, regroup, get to see Oscar Lindblom for the first time in a little bit after being diagnosed with cancer. It's just, and you also get Travis Konechny back in the lineup. That's also a good sign. So, really good game by the Flyers here. We got a game on Thursday against the Buffalo Sabres. Jack Eichel's been one of the better players in the league this season. Even though Buffalo's been, they've been a meh team. I feel like the Flyers can come home against Buffalo and beat them. But, you know, don't want to get my hopes up a little too high right here. But nice game all around for the Flyers right there. Nice ceremony in the first period for Oscar Lindblom. I like what the fans did, raising up the signs, and I was there too, so it was a nice little moment right there for Oscar Lindblom in that little moment. So, yeah, just nice game all around, good win, good showcasing up by the offense, by the penalty kill, especially by Carter Hart. Congratulations to David Kasha for getting his first NHL goal. So, let's see what the Flyers can do down the stretch. They got Buffalo, like I said on Thursday. I forget who they play Saturday, honestly. I know they go on the road, but then they play next Monday at home against the New York Rangers, and that's the last game before they go on their Christmas break. So let's see if the Flyers can bounce back from that 3-game losing streak and turn this one win into more wins. I want to see the Flyers team get to 20 wins before they get to 15 regulation losses. That is my goal right now. That should be the goal of this team. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this game? What are you guys' thoughts on Carter Hart's performance today? What are you guys' thoughts on Travis Konecny returning? And what are your guys' thoughts on the Oscar Lindblom celebration? Also, what are your thoughts on the attendance problem with the Florida Flyers this season? So, don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video.